Okay, hello everybody, and welcome to the next episode of New Earth TV Live. Good to see you all here once again with me every Friday. Hope you guys are also following the BCR technique as well, 30-day challenge. We're really seeing some incredible things happen through the 30-day challenge. So again, if you're tuning into that, awesome. It's free, so why not? Okay, so again, thank you everybody for being here today alongside with me through New Earth TV Live. Why don't we just go ahead, take a moment, and just be. And blessings to you all. Thank you very much. So we're going to go ahead and begin with our announcements. Beautiful, sacred geometrical clothing, apparel, and accessories imbued with spirit source energy to heal, rejuvenate, detoxify, and strengthen the body. Shop now at healingcodeshop.com.
The latest revelation in alternative healing has arrived. The Healing Code Cards, a spiritual technology unlike anything else. Through the power of sacred geometry imbued with pure source energy, physical ailments can become eliminated and detoxified from your body. 36 cards specifically designed to work on the major areas of the body, encouraging natural recovery and increased vitality. Working with the cards are easy, and their healing results are profound. Download our collection of free sample cards so you can experience results for yourself. And don't forget to view our customer testimonials. Our printed Healing Code card deck is available now with shipping available worldwide. Visit our website at healingcodecards.com.
And the Body Deck Special Edition is now available. So the original version of the Body Deck, which contained 36 cards, has been discontinued, right? So it's no longer available. So the Special Edition is the new replacement for the original Body Deck. I basically sold out all of the original Body Deck cards. So now the Special Edition is taking its place. So again, it includes 44 Healing Code cards, as you see here. Again, the cards are having the cards have a laminated finish, and they also have a tin box for storage. So again, it's available right now, as well as the digital version, which is available separately. So you can go to healingcodecards.com to order your deck now. Still got lots of decks available, and actually just starting to get caught up with the pre-orders now. So everything's starting to wind down pretty good. And of course, the private sessions are going to be returning in October. I already have quite a few bookings for October already, but there's still some available. 15, 30, 45, and 60-minute sessions are available. Personal interaction with me, communicating through spirit, right? So this is even greater than how the channeling state once was, right? So there's also 3 question email sessions available, the EQ method as well too. So check out newearthteachings.com and you can book a session with me. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. We are going to go into some distance healing here very shortly as well, and we're going to go into Q&A too. And in between after the distance healing and before the Q&A, I'll be speaking on the topic of the human guardians and cosmic administration, right? So I'm going to give a little bit more of an information from Spirit's view regarding the human guardians and the cosmic administration. So we'll get into that shortly as well too. First thing we're going to do is we're going to do some exercises. The first exercise we're going to do right now, I should say the only exercise we're going to do right now before we get into distance healing, will be the silent circle. Okay, so just as I've talked about before in the past, especially during last week's webcast, where I was teaching you guys how to work with the silent circle, and you're just picking a spot within your body where you would like to implement the silent circle into yourself, right? So you're filling it with that emptiness, and you're taking that circle and you're putting it into an area of your body that you feel requires it, right? So what it's doing is it's bringing itself back into complete and total surrender, complete and total harmony. It's rebalancing everything within your system, okay? So let's try that together right now. So the first thing we do, again, is we just draw a circle, just like this. Okay? And we just place our hand in the center of our circle. We just go back into where we took a moment at the beginning of the broadcast. And we just feel that emptiness. We feel that silent stillness pervading the center of the circle. And then we turn our hand to face us, taking a slow, deep breath in through the nose and moving it forward, exhaling slowly into the area of your body that you feel requires it. Good. And then we do that a second time, drawing the circle, putting our hand in the center of the circle, pervading the emptiness, the silent stillness of the circle. Okay, turning it around. This one I'm actually going to put in my left shoulder. So I'm going to take a slow, deep breath in. And slow exhale. And I'm just guiding that circle just to the back of the left shoulder and putting it in there. Very good. Okay. So like I said, you're just choosing a spot, wherever that is, whether it's your head, your chest, your abdomen, your knees, wherever you feel you need this circle. That's where you're putting it. Okay. So third circle now. Okay. Placing your hand in the center of the circle. Pervading the emptiness, silent and stillness, energy. I would call it energy, but just presence in the center of the circle. Turning it around, and again placing it in the chest as we inhale. Exhale, slowly putting it into the chest a second time. Very good. Okay, so that is the silent circle practice, right? So you're just filling the circle with that all-pervading silence and stillness, and that just goes into the body. And that, again, is just balancing everything, right? It's a very, very powerful technique as we continue to use it regularly, all right? Okay, so now that we've done our practice, we're going to go ahead and move on into some healing requests, okay? So if you have some distance healing requests for yourself or for others, just feel free to put it in the top chat, okay? And I'll come around to you, and we will perform the distance healing. And then after that, I'll be getting into the topic of the human guardians, and then we'll be taking some Q&A. Okay, so feel free to fill up the chat with any questions you have, or again, distance healing requests. Okay, so I have one here from Annika. Annika says, "Hi Brad, I would be very grateful if you could send some healing to my stomach. I have a tuber there." Okay, well, no problem. Like I said, you guys don't have to tell me what condition you're going through if you don't want to. All right, just say, "Hi Brad, I just request some healing, either for myself or for somebody else." And that's good. Okay. So Annika, yes, for sure. I will work together with you firstly. So Annika, what I'd like you to do right now is just going to take a deep breath in, deep breath out. Okay. And I want you right now just to tune into your body, being aware of how your body feels from the top of your head, going all the way down to the bottom of your feet. And just being aware of your body right now, not trying to change or alter anything. Just being aware of it, of how it is in this moment. Okay. And now I want you to imagine that you're just starting to zonk out, right? You're just starting to feel like you're going into dream time. You're closing your eyes, your head dips, and now you're feeling like you're just going into your astral body or your dream body, okay? And you're just floating above the physical body, right, that you feel is zonked out. And now we're going to see the physical body divide. We're going to do a type of bodily mitosis here, right? So we're feeling a new body coming out of the old body. And that new body is directly in front of the old body. So as the old body now is completely zonked out, we're feeling that old body fade away. It's dissolving away. And with this new body, it is completely absent of any harsh conflicts and conditions that once resided within the old body. All right. So the new body is here, and it is pristine. It is beautiful, right? You feel it, and it is absolutely radiant with wellness and good health. And so I want you to imagine, again, you as the astral body, just hovering above the crown of the new body and just imbuing yourself directly into this new body. And I want you just to give it a test. Okay, so you're maybe moving the head a little bit, rotating the shoulders, rotating the wrists, moving the fingers, curling the toes. Okay, maybe just giving your spine a gentle twist. And you're just feeling yourself in this brand new body. You're feeling the vital organs. Okay, you're feeling the major organs in pristine condition. You're feeling your stomach is completely free of any of that debris, of any problems whatsoever. Your stomach is in complete and total well-being, good health, and is radiantly healthy. You're feeling the same with your heart, your lungs, your liver, your spleen, your pancreas, intestines, everything. All major organs are feeling absolutely radiant and pristine. Skin is looking pristine. It looks radiant, right? So you're feeling all of this flowing into your body. You're feeling this excitement. You're tuning into yourself. Your mind feels pristine. Not only does the body feel pristine, but the mind does as well too. And now we're just going to hold the ball in the center of our hands. Okay? And this represents your thought ball. This is your thought intentions. Okay? And I want you just to start expanding it as you continue to feel out this radiant, pristine body, how it makes you feel. You feel radiant inside it. You feel so healthy. You feel so well. You feel so beautiful. Everything feels great. It feels like you're a clean slate. I feel brand new. This is an amazing experience. I feel young again. I feel full of vitality. I feel absolutely pure. And this is my body now. I have accepted this as my body. And it's happening to me right now, right now, right now, right now, right now, right? So really just expanding your hands out and just making that thought ball of positive intention bigger and bigger, okay? Really feel it. Don't be afraid to smile if you need to smile, okay? If you're feeling pretty grumpy, give yourself a smile. Give yourself a laugh, a chuckle, okay? As we do that, we compress the ball into the size of a tennis ball, okay? And we're just putting it into the crown. We feel that energy moving and surging through the body, and we're feeling that thought energy, all of the goodness that we put into our body, we're feeling it just surge through the entire brand new pristine body right now. And Annika, I want you just to hold that in as you feel that energy coming through. I command God's Spirit Light to apply Annika's command to her. Apply. Deep breath in, deep breath out. All right. So Annika, let me know how you're feeling, right? So if we're feeling a really good positive energy coming through, right? We feel like maybe our skin is tingling. We feel a bit lighter. Maybe we feel lightheaded, right? We just feel these subtle changes taking place in the body. That is great. That's an indication that this is working. Activity is taking place. So Annika, you'll want to do this every single day. Okay, so just keep doing the same process. Come back to this video if you need to, when it's on recording, and just repeat this again, right? Every day. I'd say try it for at least 30 days. And what's happening is you're seeing these layers being peeled off of you, right? So you'll start to feel like your immune system will start to increase. You'll feel like these brand new vital organs are coming online. You'll feel like your mind is clearer, right? You're peeling off the layers of the onion. Okay? Thank you very much, Annika. Okay, going down the list here, we have a request here from Tamayasha. Thank you very much for your contribution. And we have another one here from Erev. Let me see if I can click on him. Okay, I don't think he had a message, but thank you for the contribution. I appreciate that. Okay, we'll move on to Roy. Roy is next. Roy says, healing for my girlfriend's legs. If you'd be so kind, Brad. Thank you. Okay, so like I said, I'll just call you Roy. All right. So Roy, you're going to be the medium for this healing. So Roy, what I'd like you to do right now is just close your eyes. Okay, take a deep breath in, deep breath out. Okay. And with your eyes closed, I want you just to imagine like you're just going up to a couch or a bed to where you see your girlfriend there. I don't think I got her name. Okay. But that's okay. I'll just refer to her as Roy's girlfriend. Okay. So you're just moving up to her. You're seeing her in your mind. You're seeing her hologram. All right. And whether she's laying down on a couch or a bed is up to you. Now I want you just to place your hands upon the top of her chest and just feeling the etheric roots coming out. Okay, and you're just feeling those roots going deeply into her body. I want you just to feel into her, just tap into her, just feel what she's going through, and just listen. Listen to that inner voice. Listen to the inner state of being. Okay? Now that you have done that, I want you just to take your hands now. We're going to have that thought ball. And I want you now to see your girlfriend completely well. Right? Completely absent of those conflicts and conditions that she's going through pertaining to her legs and pertaining to her entire body. Right? You're seeing her in this pristine condition. You're seeing her get up just like she's waking up from a nap. And she's just in celebration. She's so happy. She says, the pain is gone. My legs feel better. My whole body feels better. I feel younger. I feel all this vital energy flowing through me. I'm tuning in. My mind feels at ease. My body feels radiant. It's wonderful. It's amazing. You're celebrating with her. You're so happy to see her in such great shape. You're seeing her health radiate. It's like you can tune into her aura and you can see it getting brighter and stronger. And you feel that. And you're just bringing that love to her. You're celebrating alongside her. And you're seeing her awaken with this brand new body. You're feeling this new body that she has now aligned herself into, and you celebrate this. And this is happening right now, right now, right now, right now, right now. Okay, remember to crack a smile with yourself, all right? Crack a smile with your girlfriend. She's celebrating, you should be celebrating too. Okay, compress that energy into the size of a tennis ball. And just feel yourself putting that ball into her crown chakra, right into the crown, and feeling that surging of energy coming directly into her body. Okay, this is your intention for her to align into a new, pristine body with all of your support, with all of your love, with all of your happiness, with all of your sincerity there. Okay? So Roy, I just want you to hold that right now for your girlfriend. I command God's Spirit Light to apply Roy's command for his girlfriend. Apply. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Okay, so Roy, check in with your girlfriend. Recommend her to try this herself as well too. Okay, if she's open to it, nothing is better than her doing it herself, right? It's for her to move into this body. You're just creating a probable body for her. Okay? So be sure to encourage her to look into this practice as well. All right? Thank you so much. Okay. We're now going to move on to the next person here. Okay, so here's one from Arif here. Arif says, hello, Brad. This is Amber. Hello, Amber. I am requesting for mental healing for my wife, Shivangi. Okay? May she feel better soon. Okay. Very good. So we will work together for your wife, Shivangi. All right? So just as Roy was doing one for his girlfriend, okay, where you're being the medium, the bridge in the middle, the same thing will be with you, okay? So Amber, you're going to be the bridge in the middle here, all right? So taking a deep breath in, deep breath out, closing your eyes, and just seeing your wife, Shivangi, okay? Either laying down on a bed or laying down on a couch, and I just want you to approach her now. Okay, you're placing your hand upon the top of her chest, feeling those black etheric roots coming out of your hand, placing it directly into her body, and you're just tuning into her, okay? Just tuning into her, just making yourself feel very quiet, going into that very slow subtlety, and just listening to feel what she's going through. Okay, I want you to hold out your hands, and you're seeing that energy ball, that ball of thought in between your hands, okay? And now I want you just to put all this love energy directly into that thought ball, okay? So you're just imagining as if your wife is just opening her eyes from a nap, and she's feeling better, okay? Her mental healing as well, her physical healing as well. You're feeling her with clarity. She's smiling at you, she's laughing, she feels overjoyed. She's filled with passion. She's filled with happiness. She's filled with love. And you're just sensing that, you're feeling that, and you're celebrating alongside her. Her mental clarity is there. Her physical clarity is there. Her emotional clarity is there. And you're celebrating. You're so happy to see your wife like this. She is celebrating. She's so happy. She feels like she's in this brand new body. She's full of vitality. Her mental states are completely clear. She is completely absent of any conflicts and conditions that were once there. She's in this brand new body. Celebrate with her. Celebrate with her. See this happening right now, right now, right now, right now, right now, and put it in the ball. Okay, feeling that energy now, compressing that energy into a tennis ball shape. Okay, putting that into her crown. Feeling all of that energy surging into her body. Okay, and just feel that good feeling. Feel her completely in a splendid nature, feeling like she's in this brand new body. Okay, and just holding that there, connecting with that energy and holding it into her space. I command God's Spirit Light to apply Amber's command for Shivangi. Apply. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Okay. So Amber, let me know how Shivangi is doing in the next little while. You can drop me an email if you want. Just go to the website, newearthteachings.com. Go to the contact page. You can drop me an email there if you like to. All right. Thank you very much. Okay, next person we're going to go down to is Annie. We're going to do about 2 more healing requests, and we're going to go into the topic of the human guardians today, and then we're going to go into Q&A. Okay, so this is for Annie here. Annie says, "Hi Brad, can you please heal my son Alexander?" Thanks a lot, guys. Remember, I'm not healing you, okay? You guys are doing the healing. 99.9% of the healing is being done through you, not me, right? So all I'm teaching you to do is go into your inner guidance, and you're working together with your believability of making your body or helping to see the probable body of another made pristine, okay? You're the healer, not me. I'm just the guide, all right? So Annie, you are going to help to heal your son, okay? I'm just helping you along. So, your son Alexander, absolutely. Okay, so Annie, what I'd like you to do right now, just take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Okay, and just seeing void right now. And I want you now to see your son Alexander, either laying down on a couch or a bed, and you're approaching him right now. Okay, you're going up to him, you're placing your hand upon the top of his chest, feeling black etheric roots coming out through your hand, and placing it in his chest, placing it in his body. Okay, and I want you just to feel into him, feel with what he's going through. Any challenges, any conflicts that he has, you're just being made aware of it. Okay, placing a ball in between your hands, and I want you to feel that ball expanding as you're seeing Alexander, just as if he's waking up, and you're seeing him in a brand new, pristine body. He's waking up, he's smiling, he's so happy about what he feels. He says, "My physical body feels amazing. My mental body is no longer clouded. I feel so much clarity coming through the mental state. I feel so much clarity coming through my emotions. I feel pristine. I feel revitalized. I feel young. I feel amazing. I feel so full of energy." And he's celebrating. You're seeing him in this new body, and I want you to see him completely absent of any of those conflicts and conditions. You're seeing him getting up from the couch. You're seeing him laughing. You're seeing him smiling. You're seeing him in such an overjoyed state. And this is how you're seeing Alexander. You're celebrating with him. There's such happiness in the air. You're feeling that beautiful radiance in his being, and you're enjoying this moment with him. You're feeling that in him right now, 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 right now. Compressing that energy into a tennis ball, putting that energy into his crown. Feeling that energy surging through his body, feeling the changes happening in his body. This is how you are seeing him. This is how you are perceiving him. Put all of your heart, put all of your love, put all of your happiness into this as that energy surges into him right now. Okay, holding that thought there. Excuse me. I command God's Spirit Light to apply Anya's command for her son, Alexander. Apply. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Okay, very good. So Annie, continue to see your son in that way. All right, see him in a pristine body. He's doing extremely well, and you are holding that thought and that intention for him. That's creating a probable body. Okay? Very good. Thank you very much. Okay, here's one from JC, and then we'll go to Zenny after that, and that will be it. And we're going to go on into the human guardians topic. Okay? So JC says, "Hi Brad, would you please send healing for my husband's neuropathy in hand and foot?" Like I said, guys, you don't have to tell me what's going on. All right? You don't have to do that. Just say, "Can you work together with healing for myself or for my husband?" Okay? That's all we're doing here. You guys don't need to tell me what's wrong with you because you're the one creating that impression. Okay? Just say, "I just need a healing request." That's it. All right? Don't worry about telling me details. You do not have to do that. Okay? Okay, so JC, your husband, I did not get your husband's name, so I'll just refer to your husband as JC's husband. Okay? So again, deep breath in, deep breath out. Okay? Seeing void now. Now I want you to see your husband, again, either on a couch or a bed. Okay, and you're just going up to him, placing your hand upon the top of his chest, feeling those etheric roots coming out. And you're just feeling those roots going into his body. And you're just feeling into him. Feeling into him. Just being aware of what he's going through. Okay. Putting your hands together, seeing that ball. Okay. And you're slowly expanding that ball. You're imagining that your husband is just awakening from the couch or bed, and he's smiling. He's looking at himself, and he says, "Every bit of pain that I had is now gone. It's completely vanished. My mental state feels clear. My emotions feel clear. I feel amazing. I feel pristine. I have all this love energy. I have all this vitality flowing through me. My dear, what did you do?" Right? He's looking at you in amazement. Okay, so you're feeling that. You're feeling how happy he is. You're seeing him smiling. You're seeing him laughing. You're seeing him getting up and stretching, and you can feel that he's made a difference. And you're feeling this pristine body as his body now. He's celebrating, and you're celebrating together with him. Feel all that love that you have for him, all that support that you have for him. Feel everything, every square inch of love that you have for this person. Put it into this ball. See them well. See them radiantly healthy. See them completely recovered. See them completely absent of any conflict and condition they once held. Show the love that you have for this one. Expand it. Expand it. Make it bigger. Make it wider. Make it as big as the universe itself. Celebrate with him. Celebrate with him. Feel this happening right now. Right now. Right now. Right now. Right now. Right now. Compress the ball to the size of a tennis ball. putting it into his crown, feeling that energy surging directly into this new probable body of his. To you, this is a certain body. To him, it is a probable body. Keep that thought, keep that intention there, okay? I command God's Spirit Light to apply JC's command for their husband. Apply. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Okay. Let me know how your husband's feeling. If you want to drop me an email, if you want to let me know in the chat, feel free, okay? Thank you, JC. Okay, last person for healing. This is for Zenny. Okay, Zenny asks, hi Brad, can you please send some healing to my older daughter? Thank you. Okay. Like I said, guys, you're the ones doing the healing, not me. Okay. You're the one that is making the difference here. I'm just guiding you. All right. So Zenny, yes, we can do that. So closing your eyes now. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. And now I just want you to see void. And I want you to see a couch, a bed directly before you with your older daughter laying upon it. Okay? I didn't get her name, so I'll just refer to her as Zenny's daughter. Okay? So I want you to approach her now, laying down on that couch or bed, placing your hand with the etheric roots coming out upon the top of her chest. Okay, tuning into her, just feeling what she's going through, feeling her conflicts and conditions. Okay, and now you're holding the ball. Okay, you're holding the ball in your hands. And now you're starting to expand that ball. And you're just feeling into her. Imagine she's waking up from a nap. She's standing up. She feels amazing. She gives herself a big stretch. Oh, I feel good. Oh, wow, what's happening? I feel like I'm in a brand new body. All the pain is gone. All the mental anguish is gone. All the harsh emotions are gone. Everything is pristine. She is a complete and total clean slate. She is celebrating. She feels vitalized. She feels super young. She feels like a little kid again. She is just immersed in celebration. You're celebrating together with her. You're so happy that she feels this way. You're feeling how her body is now clean. You now feel how her body is pristine, completely clean on the physical, mental, and emotional levels. This is making you excited. You're pouring all of your love, all of your happiness, all of your cheerfulness, everything that is your bliss. You're pouring it into this ball. You're making it bigger. You're making it wider. You're making it stronger. You're making it brighter. You're pouring all of this into this ball for your older daughter. Feeling her, celebrating with her, enjoying this moment with her. Right now, right now, right now, right now. Right now. Compressing that ball to the size of a tennis ball, all of your love, all of your support, all of your compassion in this ball, putting it in her crown. Okay, feeling that energy surging directly into her body. Okay, and just seeing her as this brand new pristine body and just holding it there. Okay, so Zenny, just hold it there as I connect. I command God's Spirit Light to apply Zenny's command for her older daughter. Apply. Okay, deep breath in, deep breath out. Okay. So Zenny, let me know how she's feeling, okay? This is the key, everybody. You're just creating the probable body. I've talked about this in a previous video, about working with the probable body, okay? And seeing this new probable body unfolding together for your loved one or for yourself. And you're seeing that as a certain body, right? And the more that you're doing that, the more that you're doing this immense favor for this other person that is dear to you in life, right? You're seeing them at their best. You're seeing them in their physical body at their best. You're seeing them in their emotional body at their best. You're seeing them in their mental body at their best, right? That's what you're seeing. And you're implying that energy towards them. And you're treating them like that, even if they're not like that, right? That, again, is reciprocity, right? That's the figure 8 here, the infinity sign. you are performing reciprocity for your loved one. And that's what's going to cause them to want to go into this body. They're reciprocating the joy, the happiness that you are sharing with them. It's all we're doing here. This is the realignment method, okay? Very good. Thank you, everybody, for your healing requests, okay? And again, if you guys do have questions for me, you can feel free to put it in the chat here. I'm going to be going into that after I go into today's discussion about the human guardians, okay? So we're going to be looking into that, and I'll be speaking through Spirit regarding the human guardians right now. So Adronis has talked about the nature of human guardians being the forefront, or the top of the pyramid right now, representing the counter forces. These human guardians come from another parallel Earth. They come anywhere from 1,000 to 3,500 years in the future, if we were to look at it in that way linearly. And they have been in association and contact together with even our people, going back, we would say, many centuries. Different distinctions of them. There's different branches of these human guardians. These human guardians are basically intervention specialists. They have done this all before. They have worked together on other worlds to assist others in regards to sweeping clean a lot of the corruption that's been happening upon the planet. They are now coming upon our world, in our dimension now, and working together in helping to work with certain technology, like looking glass technology, to which they have access to. They're in some of the underground installations upon the moon. It's basically looking at the northern hemisphere, going down about 7th parallel, and seeing these underground installations at the back side of the moon. There's an entire fortress there, you could say. And this is the domain to where some of this technology exists. This may also be where the looking glass technology is also contained. It's at the back side of the moon, again, between like the 7th and 8th parallel, I would say, around there. It's around the northern hemisphere of that area. And again, there's these installation structures that exist in the interior of the moon. Goes very, very deep, goes down several miles. And there are gigantic fortresses. They're almost like city-sized in that way. So there's a gigantic mainframe, a gigantic multiplex, as it were, that exists in the subterranean of the moon, to which they have access to. Now, the moon itself has been functioning together as an artificial satellite, specifically as a laboratory, a monitoring station, and it also has different forms of technology that works together with frequency transmissions. These frequency transmissions have been utilized in regards to applying a certain degree of control upon the planet, and has been for many thousands of years. But through these different forms of frequency transmissions, this basically represents different degrees of thought commands that have imbued themselves directly within the magnetic field of the Earth to bringing about these different forms of thought-based transmissions to influence the greater degree of the collective consciousness, to empower much more degrees of corruption, confusion, and separate self-consciousness upon the planet for many thousands of years. But as humanity has been continuing to evolve throughout these past thousands of years, and are now moving much more into a higher plane, because again, many of the souls that are coming here on the earth right now are basically what you could refer to as higherly etheric, or higher angelic, or higher to the degrees to where they are more immune to these frequency bombardments that have been taking place upon the moon in regards to the state of its influence to the nature of Earth, that have often been basically been administered through these previous tenants that were once on the moon. And these previous tenants would represent that of what you would term as the Draco, Orion forces as well too, quite commonly. You would find many of these particular forms of beings are actually not on the moon anymore. They have been released. They have been exiled from the moon. They have been kicked off the moon, in a manner of speaking. The human guardians and their associates now are starting to occupy the moon, and are basically going in and clearing out a lot of this installation. There has been a lot of transhumanistic AI that is actually found upon the moon. There has actually been slave colonies that you will find on the moon as well too. Some humans have been taken up there. And again, these have been slave colonies as well too. Some of them have also been feeding grounds, basically humans being eaten as well too by the previous tenants. So this too has happened upon the moon. But again, there is a very large cleanup that is taking place upon the moon right now. Again, under new management. And as it is under new management right now, there is again the process of basically slowing down these codes, but it's almost like looking at pharmaceutical drugs. You can't just really turn this off. This has to delicately be reduced every bit slower, and slower over time. What the entire agenda right now is to basically keeping this technology intact and basically working together as a reverse psychology, where the human guardians are working together with Looking Glass technology to discover the highest probability of timelines available that they can therefore share with their counterparts upon the Earth, for they have formed alliances with many of the counter forces, or white hat alliances as it were, that are positioned upon the planet. They will meet again in certain installations. Many of these are underground installations hidden inside mountains. And they will go there, and they will interact with certain administrators, or again, appointed council, that has been in agreement to work together with these human guardians. These human guardians have basically chosen who they're going to work with, and so there has been a mutual agreement. And so the human guardians are working together and sharing a lot of this information that they have received from the higher probability timelines to which Looking Glass technology has shared. Now again, the human guardians are at the tip of the pyramid, representing that of the counter-force agenda, which is basically just taking all of the agenda that the dark forces have had and turning it on itself, flipping it upside down. And that's what's taking place right now. So basically, if they had a pyramid, right, like we see the capstone on the $1 bill, it's being flipped. So everything in regards to what they have done is now being inverted. It's now being flipped around. And so again, all of this that is happening right now upon the planet pertaining to the agendas representing coronavirus, representing masks, vaccinations, etc. All of this is basically looking to accelerate ahead to create again the triggering of a mass awakening. It is fundamentally true that there is now near to the point of 2/3 majority awakening that is already ensuing and taking place that will change all of this around. The next couple of months is going to be a greater state of exposure taking place. So the human guardians are working together with their appointed liaisons upon the planet to assist in turning all of this around. But it needs to be done through intensity. It needs to be done in that point where it is manufactured, yes, but it is creating the impression that this whole agenda is going into the greatest intensity that it can to awaken as many people as possible. The goal here is try to awaken many people as possible so that they have complete and total distrust of their government and authorities altogether. As that happens, then you will see a gigantic takedown that is going to take place. This gigantic takedown is set to occur between the end of the year and the earlier period of next year. And so again, this is going to lead to a very large campaign that is going to be the disintegration and dismantling of all of the corrupt systems upon the planet. Again, as been stated, not a single stone is going to be left unturned. These human guardians, again, know what they're doing. They have done this before. They are highly experienced. They are you. They are you in what we would term to be as the future. And so they are very well about what is happening. They are very well of the course of events to take place. And so this is why they're using the Looking Glass technology, so they can give specific instructions relating to what needs to be done to their contact liaisons here on the planet, the white hats, the counter forces, to completely invert this pyramid relating to the dark forces, so that all of this can be dismantled from inside. It is not about trying to approach this situation from the outside. It needs to be dismantled from within. And that's what's happening. Implosion is the end of the dark forces. And that implosion comes from the idea of the people that were once working very, very closely to them going turncoat, turning things around, joining much of the counterforce alliance, and now therefore being able to share all these plans. That is how you take down these particular forms of people, these people that have created a corrupt empire. You take the empire down from the inside out. And that's what's taking place. And therefore the human guardians are assisting in this process to taking it down. The human guardians are the apex to what we could term as the cosmic administration. They are also receiving guidance from higher planes, from beings that are non-physical. So this is why they're not on the pyramid, because again, they exist in the non-physical planes. So they too are also being guided from the unseen realms. Okay? So human guardians are here. Will there be an opportunity for us to meet them in the times ahead? You already are meeting them in many ways because they are on the planet. They do walk among you here and there. But again, they are so completely like you, you're not able to tell the difference. So some of them do walk upon the earth. Some of them do decide to just go into these installations and work together with others as well too, pertaining to the counterforce actions. All right. So that's really what I'm getting pertaining to the human guardians. Okay, they are us, like I said, up to about 3,500 years in the future if we're looking at it linearly, and they are the ones that are now the new managers, the new administrators of the moon, right? And they are working together and bringing this agenda forward to basically flip the old pyramid upside down and taking everything down from the inside out, which is currently taking place. A lot of the things that are happening right now are manufactured. They're very intentional. Like I said, this is just a big, gigantic stage play. It's like going to a theater and just watching a play unfold directly in front of your eyes. It's a big melodrama. Others may call it a movie. It really is, okay? But a lot of the head honchos that are responsible for the counterforce movement are these human guardians, and they have been with us for a very, very long time, okay? So that is what I'm getting for the human guardians. I'm sure we'll elaborate a little bit more on them as time progresses. But of course, there's a whole video I could do just on them alone and the cosmic administration. Adronis has talked about this in the past, but as I'm no longer channeling Adronis, a lot of this information is coming through a lot more clearer than even what Adronis could convey, right? Where I am right now is so much better than a channeling state. What you guys just witnessed was not a channeling state. That was just a natural state of being, letting the flow come through. All right. So I know I've had a lot of people say, Brad, please bring Adronis back. I said, guys, you don't need Adronis. If I'm the channel of Adronis and I'm able to let him go, I don't see why you can't either. Right? That time of channeling is done. This is now just coming in through pure spirit information, natural state. It's so much more profound. I suggest you guys try it yourself. You do something like the BCR technique, this is what you'll learn how to do too. It is so much greater than any form of channeling state or mediumship, okay? And here's Jenna. Jenna, thank you for your contribution here. Jenna says, since I was a child, when I close my eyes, I see patterns, colors, and pictures that constantly move. Not my imagination, it's like watching a screen. Any insight as to what I'm experiencing? Well, this is again is you going into deeper states, right? You're naturally aligned into the deeper subtle states of being, right? So you have in that sense a potent brain chemistry, right? There's a lot of activations that have already been taking place within your brain. It could be happening to you, again, as you said, in your younger years, right? There are some of us that come into this world and we have a very sophisticated brain chemistry because you're meant to be this type of reader. You're meant to be this type of guide. You can command those images, right? You can command spirit to work together. But what that requires is a humble heart, right? You have to really kind of work with yourself. You want to meditate daily, okay? And you want to go into those deeper vibrational states, those deeper subtle states. And as I talk about in the BCR Technique 30-Day Challenge, you work with heart rate variability, okay? So breathing into the nose, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing out to the nose, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And repeat. Going into heart rate variability, that is bringing you into the lower subtle states. And now you will notice that those patterns, those images in that sense, can actually be at your beck and call. You can ask them questions, which means they're already very responsive to those deeper realms, right? So it's a matter of putting that to work. So you already have the deeper, potent brain chemistry needed to working together with those deeper realms to getting greater insight that can assist both you and others, should you wish to assist others with your abilities. Okay? Thank you, Jenna. Okay, so as I said, we're now going to go into Q&A. Jenna was the one to kick it off, so thank you for that. Okay, so this one here is from Lisa Scott. Lisa says, hi Brad, when will the 66% be achieved as Adronis mentioned, and what percentage are we at now? Thank you. Okay, so again, as I talked about through that transmission, right, we're pretty much there now. We're pretty much at the 2/3 majority, right? We're pretty much touching that, and this is what's going to unfold, especially around the fall and early winter time, okay? There is just going to be a larger exposure taking place, right? A larger takedown that's taking place. Because again, while the hands are up here waving and saying, hey, watch us, vaccine agenda, mask agenda, COVID agenda, blah, 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 there are other hands behind that person doing other things, right? So this is where, again, our attention is being focused. And again, a lot of what the counterforces represent is working together clandestinely. All right, they are clandestine operations that they have, right? So they work behind the scenes and they help to clear out a lot of these other agendas that we're trying to bring about an even worse agenda than the COVID agenda, such as the climate change agenda, which is basically looking to be like 20 times worse than the COVID agenda that they were trying to play out. A lot of that has been scrapped, right? So like I said, there's not really that much of the influence pertaining to the dark forces anymore, if I call them that, right? Dark forces, old players, dark players, etc., right? The cabal, it's another name. Basically, they are very, very few in number right now. So many of their own ranks have betrayed themselves, right? They basically have turned turncoat. And they are now moving much more with the counter forces, right? With the white hats. But again, as far as the public forums are concerned, we are made to think that this agenda is still ongoing and that they're going to try and ramp up these things. And they're ramping up these things because they're trying to get people mad. They're trying to get people angry. They're trying to get people upset, because that is how you take their pyramid and turn it upside down. People have to get angry. They have to be outraged. They have to feel like their freedoms are being taken away. They have to feel like everything is in chaos. They can no longer just sit on their hands and feel like, oh, I'll just let this pass. I'll let this pass. No, it has to be amped up to the point where you cannot ignore this anymore. This is why there's a lot of people who were previously sleepers that are now awakening to this. It's not to say that they're going on a spiritual awakening journey, but they're awakening up from this. They realize that there's corruption everywhere, and now they're taking action. They're working together with other people. They are grouping themselves together. That's what we need to do. It's as Adronis, when he was talking about this as well too, is say you work together. You work together and you ally yourself together. You find people of like mind and you work together with the people that are looking to be awakened. You do not continue to put so much of your energy upon these people who do not want to be woken up, right? You're just exhausting yourself. So let them be. Just continue to do your actions, and there may come a point where those people may awaken, right? But it's not going to be through you. It's going to be through other activities that are taking place throughout the world. So you are working together with your people, people of like mind. You're strengthening yourself. You're reinforcing yourself. You're working together. And that's what's going to make a difference. This entire agenda is to help people come together, is to unite, is to work together. If we don't work together, we stay divided and you stay fragile, right? You stay fractured. More people that come together are going to make a difference. And basically what I can say is that the right people right now are already awakened. They are already together. They're already going to work. And that's why this is going to work, right? I would basically say, like I've said in the past, that the entire COVID agenda, everything relating to its false agendas, its false flags, everything representing that, this big gigantic psyop, will be over before the end of April of 2022. Okay. For Canada, this should be all finished before February. Right? I'm pretty sure the United States would be the same way. I'm pretty sure many places, probably between January to March, right, are going to see the end of this altogether, but no later than the end of April of 2022. Okay, so right now we're just going through this. This is the transitional time. This is the intense time, right? When we're going through the fall right now, we're going through the winter. It's going to be intense, right? There's going to be some slaps to the face that are going to take place here. This all needs to happen. And again, I understand the people who are, quote unquote, the awakeners, who said, well, we've been through this. We've known about this for years, yet we feel like we're getting slapped in the face. I get that, right? But again, this is mainly for the people who are deep asleep, right? This is why all of this is happening. It's getting the most stubborn person to realize, yes, the government's corrupt. Yes, I'm not going to participate with this. Yes, I'm going to work together with other people. And we're going to build a people-powered world, right? A world where the people work together, where there can actually be clarity, where there can actually be transparency, right? Moving into a brand new earth. That's what this entails. This is like the final exam, right? So not everybody is going to be able to awaken, but again, it's going to be a small number. That's the good news. A lot of people have come to me and said, oh, Brad, I don't know. It just feels like 90% of us now are just asleep and 10% are awake. I'm like, no, flip it around. Flip it the other way. Okay? We are under the belief that so many people are asleep, but that's not the case, right? When you're really looking at these articles or these news stories or videos or anything that way, you're really looking at just a small percentage of things. From the larger perspective, you see how people are working together. You realize that they do not want this. They are against all these agendas. They will oppose it. And that's exactly what's happening. That's happening by the millions, and it's happening by the billions. There's a lot going on that is more so in the counterforce's favor than the idea of a dark alliance or a dark force or a cabal in that way. They're falling apart, and we are rising. That's exactly what I'm constantly seeing, even as I'm doing my own inner readings here. It's exactly what I keep seeing. We're rising up, and the old dark forces are falling away. Excuse me. So, Lisa, that's what I can share about that. We're pretty much already at the 66%, the 2/3, as Adronis previously talked about. Okay? Okay, going down the list here a bit more. Let me just change it to live chat. There we go. Okay. Okay, here's one from Sean. Sean says, hi, could you let us know what purpose our dreams while sleeping serve in our lives? You're looking at the reflections of your own mind. That's all dreams are. You're looking at the perceptions of yourself from a much more lighter space, and that represents dream space. That represents dream time. So you're looking into the evaluation of how your patterns, how you have conducted yourself, what's on your mind, what thoughts you have, what emotional strife that you may have, what triumphs you may have. When you're going into the dream space, this is just looking at a higher pinnacle degree of accessing your own Akashic records through dream space, through dream time. So you are looking and evaluating into yourself. It's really just being able to explore your own soul. And it's the mind that's doing this with you, right? So the mind is a device. It's a tool. When we go into the dream time, we're utilizing the mind to create an interface about how we are feeling, what we are going through, what are our patterns, what mental patterns do we have, what belief systems, what conditions do we have, what about our emotional conditions, what traumas have we been through. And we're enacting that out through the dream space. It's telling us about ourselves. It's a language. When you go off into the dreams, it's a language that's coming through. It's not about speaking English directly to yourself. It's putting you into these scenarios. It's putting you into these dream spaces to getting an idea about what you feel out of the dream space, right? So it's not about trying to put all these things into words. Your mind wants to show you these things. It wants to immerse you into these realities. It wants to show you about how you react when this situation happens. If you see a loved one die before your eyes, how do you react? If you feel like you're getting lost in the forest and you don't know the way, how do you react? If you feel all this stuff happening upon the planet Earth that's very, very intense and chaotic, how do you react? Right? Your dream is taking you through these processes because it's its own guide. It's a guidance to helping yourself. It's your own higher self, you could say, that is helping you, that is guiding you, that is working with you and saying, are you paying attention to this? Are you aware about how you reacted to this dream? Are you aware about when this person came into the stream, about how you felt about that? Right? This is why it's good to have a dream journal. It's why it's good to learn how to interpret dreams. The only important thing about the dreams is based upon how you feel about them, right? How you feel about the dreams is really the most important thing. Sometimes there's things that we need to decode, right? I've done dream interpretation in the past, right? Sometimes we do need to decode things in dreams, but a lot of it has to do about how does this make you feel? Here's a situation. Here you are plopped in the middle. Maybe you're looking at it from a first-person point of view or a third-person point of view or a second-person point of view. How does it make you feel? What emotions are coming through? So it is your own guidance from the higher self telling you about yourself as long as you exist within mind. Those who do not exist in mind don't have dreams. They're in deep sleep all the time. They've transcended the mind. But a lot of us, yes, will have these dreams, sometimes wonderful, sometimes very traumatic, but nonetheless, it's just a reflection of the patterns of what we're going through. It's helping us to understand the thoughts, feelings, emotions, traumas that we're still holding on to, and being able to evaluate that and being able to correct it, both in the waking world and the dreamtime world. Okay? Thank you very much, Sean. Okay, so going down here a bit more. Okay, Roy says, are there any off-world civilizations who are going through a similar awakening to us on Earth at this time? If so, will we interact with each other in the near future? There are most definitely, yes, off-world civilizations. The Pleiadians, for example, have been going through this for centuries. For many millennia, they've had internal civil wars with each other. Sirius has also had internal civil wars, not with Adronis' people, but there's been a lot of fighting between Sirius A and Sirius B in the past. A lot of it has involved territory, and a lot of it has involved resources. A lot of it in that sense has actually involved genetics as well, too. There's a lot of genetic wars that happen throughout star systems as well, too. So it all depends upon the type of civilization that you're referring to, because many of them are much more in a deeper, advanced level of challenge right now. A lot of the common currency that you find within the cosmos is genetics, right? Genetics is something very, very valuable. That's like the treasure, right? To basically being able to genetically alter your body so that you can live longer, right? There's also some squabbles regarding technology. There's also squabbles in regards to territory, resources as well too. These are things that are very, very common. For you to discover other civilizations that are going through what we're going through, they can recollect that in the state of their past. A lot of them have been fighting past slavery. Okay, there has basically been a slave ring on a galactic level that has been happening for many, many, many thousands, even millions of years. There's been slave trade, right? Slave trade has been a very, very big thing throughout the entire course of the galaxy. The good news is a lot of this really just happens around the outer circle of the galaxy. It doesn't really go into the inner circle. When you start moving into the inner or mid-rim of the galaxy, there's none of this. We're in the fringe, right? We're in the outer galactic ring here. And that's where a lot of these troublesome things happen. So this is why there's a lot of specialists that actually come from the interior of the galaxy and now start to recruit others as they teach them, mentor them, guide them about how to resolve a lot of these things. And a lot of them is just learning to put down their weapons, right? There's a lot of warring civilizations out there, guys. Right, we're looking at many different civilizations, and when we tap into some of the ones who are very harmonious, very loving, very humble, they've learned from thousands of years of war, internal war that they've gone through as well too. A lot of civilizations have gone through similar things like what we've gone through, but it would be considered to be their ancient past. And because we share the genetics of 22 different extraterrestrial civilizations, we inherit a lot of that degree, right? This is why we've had a lot of challenges upon the planet here, because it has been inherited into us. Not really through the idea of heredity, right? Because heredity really doesn't exist. It's all about sympathetic resonance. It's about what has been left unresolved persists. And that's what's happened. A lot of our distant relatives, our ancestors of the stars, have had a lot of cosmic wars that have taken place. And because we basically are bestowed that, because we share their genetics, we share that sympathetic resonance, we feel it upon the earth, right? Humanity has ancestry of their family that have been through a great deal of war and strife and hurt and rape and murder and slave trade and all of these things. Everything that we're experiencing, they've experienced en masse in the ancient past, right? So they have passed down a lot of their debris onto us. Because again, it's just all part of what we needed to do. It's kind of like how grandparents and parents are not able to resolve a lot of their patterns of misery. And so that is bestowed down upon the children. And so because the children live that life and they acquire all that sympathetic resonance, they have to really do the cleanup. This is basically what we're doing, guys. This is what we're doing on the planet right now. Our ancestors have dropped the ball. They did not step up. They did not know when this tyranny was coming forward, and they didn't do anything about it. So what happens? It passes down to the next generation. Does that generation clear it up? Maybe some, but not all. That passes down to the next generation. Does that generation clear it up? It's getting a little bit more cleaner, but there's still some left. That passes down to the next generation. Okay? This is why you need to be very, very considerate about what you're putting out, right? About the issues that you're having, because you're going to pass that down to your children. Your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren would have to bear the weight of what you are unwilling to resolve. And a lot of this comes through ignorance and arrogance, right? Because all we want to do is just want to be left alone. We just want to have our material possessions, and we want to be kept out of all this. That's not going to do anything, because now you're going to pass that dysfunction down to your children and great-grandchildren and so on, right? This is why it's very important that you're not just doing this for yourself. You're actually doing it for your family. You're doing it for your extended family. You're doing it for your descendants as well, too. You're giving them the most amazing life possible when you start working on yourself, right? And a lot of our cosmic ancestors were naive, and they too were ignorant and arrogant, right? As soon as we hear an extraterrestrial, oh my God, they must be so evolved. They must be so advanced. No, they went through their own bullshit, just like we did, right? But in different ways. So we basically paint this picture. Oh, an ET, this must be great. Must be an ascended being. No. No. The majority of races out there are not ascended beings. Okay, they are very much going through their own trials and tribulations and challenges, just like we are. They are evolving as we are, right? Yes, you can go and look at certain ascended realms and so forth, because that's what you're tuning in vibration with. But many of them that share the kind of plane that we do, they're very troubled. They're very insecure. And they can be very arrogant and ignorant, right? So again, we paint this picture. We profile them and thinking that they must be just big gods and they must be perfected. And no, that is a big, bald-faced lie. They're going through their own challenges as well, too. Even with the human guardians, from what I'm tuning into, they're beautiful beings, but they're going through their challenges as well. They are not perfected beings. You cannot have a perfect being, really, right? You have to go beyond beingness. You have to go into non-being to know what perfection really is. These beings are still going through their own trials and tribulations as well, too. Even the human guardians, that again come from well over 3,500 years, if we're looking at it linearly, ahead. They have their own BS to take care of as well, too, right? They have their own challenges. Why do you think they're using looking glass technology? Okay? They're using looking glass technology because they're still anchored to our plane, and they're still looking at it from a much more mature perspective, but they have their challenges as well. They have their flaws as well. That's why they use technology to assist in these things, okay? If you are basically a being that you would consider to be in the higher states, right, you're not using technology at all, right? It all just comes directly from spirit. Human guardians aren't doing that. They use technology. They're very connected to spirit, but they're working with looking glass technology to look into the probabilities of where these things are going, right, to help out. And they're getting guidance from the non-physical planes that are helping them along with their path that they have to figure out themselves, right? So again, we have to get out of this delusion that as soon as we see a star being, a star family, an ET, they must be evolved. They must be either really, really evil or they must be really highly evolved, right? We're looking at the black and white. You're not looking at the contrast in between. There's a lot of different civilizations that have been going through just freeing themselves from slavery, right? Like I said, a slave trade is very enormous throughout the entire galaxy. It's very powerful. It's a big industry, right? There have been people who have been taken off their planets and they have been made slaves. Some of them will be transhumanistic experiments. They will basically try to turn them into AI or cyborgs in that way, and they can be heavily disfigured. Some of them will actually be used as laboratory experiments. Their genetics will be harvested, and they'll attempt to make new bodies out of that body that was victimized, right? It's a nasty thing, right? And there's still a lot of that that's happening in the interstellar commerce. Like I said, genetics are a very big currency, one of the biggest currencies there is throughout the galaxy, okay? We're going to have to, eventually at some point, be the ones that are going to help to clear up the cosmos. We clean up the Earth, guess what comes next? We got to clean up the galaxy. Because we are going to meet our ancestors. We are going to meet our star family and saying, brace yourself, we got a lot of stuff to tell you, because here's your next step. Here's you becoming a galactic civilization, and here's what you're going to do next. You're going to be guides, you're going to be teachers, you're going to be helpers. You're going to speak out against intergalactic slave trading, looking into, again, harvesting people for genetics, right? You're going to look into all these different things that we are going to do as a galactic civilization. And those responsibilities are 1,000 times bigger than what we're having here on Earth. Earth is like a picnic compared to what we're going to be doing in the thousands of years ahead. But again, we're going to be so in touch with spirit. We're going to be so in touch with our own inner being that we'll be able to do it. Okay? And these challenges that we're experiencing right now on Earth will be a cakewalk compared to what we're doing in the galaxy, right? Because that's where we're going, from the planet to the galaxy, right? There's a lot of cleanup that we need to do because, again, we're the children. We're trying to pick up and clean up our ancestors' mistakes, just like what we do here in this lifetime here on the planet Earth, picking up and cleaning up the ancestors' mistakes. All right? Thank you for your question. Okay, the true seventh of seven says, question, what exactly are the different branches of these human guardians? Because while they take their sweet molasses time with this slow drip exposure, people are dying from the vax. 7 of 7, that really doesn't help, okay? You don't know their situation. You don't know what they're going through. And it is not your place to judge them about that, okay? This is already taking place. This is already happening. Everything in regards to this counterforce operation has been happening for at least the past several years. Humanity is delicate. It's not about just you pressing a red button and everything's better. Okay, get out of that delusion. That's not what's happening. It is not your place to say, well, they're slow as molasses and the slow drip exposure. All of this needs to happen. It's a very different story if the majority of the planet is awakened. If the majority of the planet is awakened, there wouldn't be drip disclosure. You'd have running water. But that's not the case. Humans are fragile. And if you put way too much of this ahead of time, you are going to have such heavy chaos that really cannot be remedied. It would involve, in that sense, going into another option where there would need to be planetary disasters to basically shake loose all of this chaos. Okay? You do not know what they are going through. You do not know the plan of what they have had to go through. This, again, is what they have been received from the non-physicals, from Looking Glass technology, from their own guidance. This is what needs to be played out. They know what they're doing. This is not their first rodeo. They have done this many times. It is not your place to judge what they feel they should be doing. They know a lot more of what they're doing than you do. I'm not saying that to be harsh, it's just the truth. So therefore, you want to just really look into what is actually happening behind the scenes, letting your heart tell you, fill you in, right? I've been getting a lot of this transmission about what's happening behind the scenes. I say, okay, I get what they're doing. It's actually a very good idea. Because before all this happened, humanity was not awoken in the way that it is right now. Throughout these past near 2 years of this agenda, this has created a gigantic critical awakening that has been so profound that previous attempts to awaken the populace has never been this successful. This is how you do it. It is not just the idea of saying, okay, let's just try and cut everybody a break and press a red button and there, boof, everybody's better. Give me a break. It's not going to work that way, right? Doesn't work that way. You got to get out of these childish little scenarios, thinking that you press a button and everything is okay. No. It's about being able to work together in process. This has to take time. Humanity is too fragile for that. Like I said, be a very different story if a lot of us are awakened, right? If we started off with 50% of the population deeply awoken, you'd have a lot of running water disclosure, okay? You have to do it by drips. You cannot feed a newborn baby a steak, right? Again, you have to nurture the newborn baby, and that's really what we are. We're like a newborn baby, and you cannot just teach that newborn baby to get up and walk and go ahead and handle a gigantic prime rib steak, right? So really look into this a lot more. You're looking at this from a surface of ignorance. You want to go more deeper into the heart and listen and see exactly what's happening. When you're tuning into these forces, they certainly do want to help humanity, right? They're us. They are humanity. But again, I say we have to do this delicately. We have to do this quietly. We have to do this in silence. Because if we don't, everything gets exposed, and that's only going to tighten the grip of the dark forces that want to enslave you and basically make you into a puppet so that they can therefore create this totalitarianism all across the planet. This has to be done delicately. It has to be done through subtle process. That's what it takes. Right? I've talked about this before. It's not the idea of thinking that a baby can chew down on a prime rib steak. You have to give it time. Dolores Cannon was telling people the same thing. You can't feed a baby a gigantic steak. You got to do this over time, gradually. Edgar Cayce said the same thing, right? Even a lot of the ancient prophets, the mystics, the sages have said the same thing. This is all going to happen through transition. So calm yourself down and be patient and tune into these things, and you'll know what's happening. When you live in here, you know what's going on, right? This is what I'm teaching you guys when you do the BCR technique. But ignorance and arrogance is not going to get you anywhere pertaining to this. Bashing them when you don't even know what's going on, right? You have no place to say that. That's just what I'm sharing wholeheartedly, all right? Okay, going down the list here a bit more. Okay, just give me a moment here, guys. I'm just reading through more stuff. Okay, I'm just getting some repeat questions here. Okay, Val says, Brad, can you talk about the connection between the brighter stars of our skies? Example, Sirius, Procyon, and Venus. Thank you. Whenever you're looking at the brighter stars, they represent a higher state of evolution, right? So it's kind of like looking at our star, right? It's very, very tiny compared if you're looking, for example, like Sirius A, which is quite vast, right? It's profoundly brighter, profoundly larger. So it's kind of like looking at parent and children stars, right? So whenever I, in the past, tapped into Adronis and looked into Sirius as well, too, because he existed within the star of Sirius, it was paradise. It was like looking at heaven. Those are kind of more of like the heavenly stars. They have moved into a greater state of advancement, and it's usually a lot more where the ancient races dwell, right? So if we're looking at the idea of brighter stars, stars that are much more larger, a lot more brighter, a lot more prevalent in our night sky, you're looking to where the ancient elders or to where the ancient masters are basically dwelling, right? They represent a much more advanced experience pertaining to that star because its energy is different, right? Its configuration is different. Its experiences are different. It's a lot more about evolving yourself up into the higher planes, right? Moving past the idea of ego. And again, that's really what Adronis represented, right? But like I said, he was still going through his challenges as well too, right? Very loving, very evolved being, but he was still going through challenges. He's even admitted that, right? They're still going through challenges, but their experiences are nowhere like ours. They're nowhere near as dense. They're a lot more lighter, but it's about being able to open yourself up into higher degrees of insight, of working with spirit on much more deeper levels, of being able to see the all, right? And it's things that we really could not perceive right now. Because again, you can't really perceive it through language. It's the best way I can put it. So that's primarily the difference. Now, Venus itself is not really the brighter star. It's conceived as a star. It's a planet, right? So Venus, in that sense, has a certain energetic to it as well, too, because our ancestors are upon Venus, right? Venus does have a brightness, a luminescence to her. It's because, again, there is an ancestry. That's part of humanity's ancestry relating to Venus. It really has been a paradise planet. It still is. It's just under a veil to make it feel like it's lifeless, just to, again, create this clandestine act pertaining to quarantine that we're going through, right? Again, I've talked about this, where a lot of the planets are basically having these illusionary veils placed upon them because we are going through a quarantine, right? Eventually, at some particular point, we may be taken to those planets and seeing them for what they really are, because, again, really what they are claimed to be is not that, right? It is actually a lot more evolved. But as far as the larger stars are concerned, that's basically what I can share, is it's a lot more of the ancient masters that are existing there and having a lot more advanced experimentation taking place. Okay? Okay, going down the list here. Okay, so I'm mostly just getting people having conversations here. I think we're going to end with this final question, okay? This is from In This Reality. Brad, almost every time I meditate, I fall asleep, energetic beforehand. What can you suggest? Get yourself active before you meditate, okay? This, again, is shared in the BCR Technique 30-Day Challenge. Get yourself active, right? So if you're starting in the morning and you want to meditate, firstly, before you do that, make sure you're active, Okay, so the first thing we do in the 30-day challenge of the BCR technique is we do the phase 1 breathing. Okay, so we breathe in, out through the mouth. We do cleansing breaths, in, out, and that is what's helping you to make yourself much more active, right? You're getting oxygenation, you're feeling your body getting a lot more awake. You may want to do some yoga exercises, you may want to go for a jog, right? You might have a cold shower. Okay, these things are helping you to keep yourself active. Now, if you're just way too tired, then get a sleep, right? Go to sleep or take a nap, and then wake up, and now see if you're feeling a lot more active, right? Do some stretching, do some exercising, do some breathing techniques, run a cold shower, etc. Whatever it is that's helping you to get yourself much more into an active state. As you're in an active state, now you are primed to have a really good meditation, okay? So in this reality, please watch the 30-day challenge of the BCR technique, okay? I go through this in great detail, and it will majorly help you, not just through meditation, but living inside the heart, living inside. That's what's important, okay? Thank you very much. Okay, guys, we're going to wrap up this episode of New Earth TV Live for this week, this Friday. Join me next Friday for another episode. And again, feel free to check out the BCR Technique 30-Day Challenge. You're going to majorly benefit from it. All right? Take care, guys. Thank you so much. And I'll speak to you again in another perspective of the now. In this reality, cool. You're on day 4, so you know what I'm talking about then. Okay? Very cool. Thank you, guys. Take care. Talk to you next week. Be well. Thank you very much for checking out the New Earth Teachings YouTube channel. Feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And you can check out the websites, newearthteachings.com, where you can order a private session, 3 questions by email, EQ method, and a lot more. And you can also check out healingcodecards.com, where you can grab your mind deck, your body deck, and of course the brand new Body Deck Special Edition. All of these are available in digital editions as well. And you can also get a shirt just like this through healingcodeshop.com, where you can experience the healing codes in apparel form. So feel free to check out these websites. Thank you so much, and I'll speak to you again in the next video. Be well.